Good morning, students. In the previous class, I had just started part 3 of Tiger King. The third paragraph I had completed. So, once again, I want to recapitulate the third paragraph. So, the Tiger King had danger to his life from the haunted tiger as per the astrologer. So, the Tiger King took an oath to kill the haunted tiger, then to take rest. He ordered that nobody except him would even dare to throw a stone at the tiger, at a tiger. Tiger killing was banned in the state of Pratibandhapuram, and that's why it was a celebration time for all the tigers in Pratibandhapuram. The Maharaja vowed he would attend to all other matters only after killing the haunted tiger, and he was successful in his ambition initially. Then please see the line on the top. Not that he faced no dangers. There were times when the bullet missed its mark. Means there was also danger to his life sometimes. Sometimes bullet missed the mark. The tiger leapt upon him, the Tiger King, and he fought the beast with his bare hands, without any weapon, naked hands. Means the Tiger King had danger all the time. Sometimes the tiger jumped upon him, attacked him, and the Tiger King had to fight with the tiger without any weapon. Each time it was the Maharaja who won. It was the victory of Maharaja. At another time, he was in danger of losing his throne. Once such situation came, he was in danger of losing his throne. How? A high-ranking British officer visited Pratibandhapuram. He was very fond of hunting tigers. That British officer was very fond of hunting tigers, and fonder of being photographed with the tiger he had shot. He loved more to be photographed with the tiger he had shot. The British officer had such wish. As usual, he wished to hunt tigers in Pratibandhapuram. But the Maharaja was firm in his resolve, in his decision, in his promise, vow. That, what was the promise? That he would not allow anyone to kill the tiger. He himself would kill a haunted tiger. So he refused permission. He didn't give the permission to the British officer. I can organize any other hunt, he said. Maharaja said. You may go on a boar hunt. You may conduct a mouse hunt. We are ready for a mosquito hunt, but tiger hunt, that's impossible, he said. The students, now you see the screen, the top line. So he said, the Maharaja said that he may organize any other hunt, but not the tiger hunt. He said, the British officer may go on a boar hunt, conduct mouse hunt, mosquito hunt, but tiger hunt is impossible. The British officer secretary sent word to the Maharaja through the Diwan that the Durais himself, means the British officer himself, didn't have to kill the tiger. The British officer sent the message to Maharaja. The Maharaja could do the actual killing. What was important to the Durai was a photograph of himself holding the gun and standing over the tiger's carcass. Carcass means dead body. So, the Maharaja could do the actual killing. The British officer sent the message. Means the tiger would be killed by the Maharaja himself. The most important thing was that The British officer wanted to be photographed with the tiger's dead body. Okay, but the Maharaja would not agree even to his proposal, to this proposal. He didn't agree. Maharaja didn't agree. If he relented now, if he became less severe in this case, if he granted, what would he do if other British officers turned up for tiger hunts? Means the Maharaja was in fear that if he didn't take it seriously, relented, then if other British officers came with the same proposal, what would he do? That was the question in his mind. Next, because he prevented a British officer from fulfilling his desire, the Maharaja stood on a danger of losing his kingdom himself. So as he didn't allow the British officer to kill the tiger, because he prevented the officer from fulfilling his desire, the Maharaja was in danger of losing his kingdom because the state was under British rule. So that's why he was in danger of losing the kingdom. Maharaja and the Diwan held deliberations, meetings over this issue. They conducted meetings. As a result, a telegram was sent forthwith afterwards to a famous British company of jewelers in Calcutta. A telegram was sent